Hi, my name's James Duffy. I'm a member of Buford Theater Company, and I'm here to talk to you today about tongue twisters. In the theater, we often use tongue twisters to get ourselves warmed up, but there's a long history of tongue twisters that seem to come in lots of little parts of our communities and families, and it's just a matter of fun, but it's got this great literary and poetic history to it as well, and I thought I'd just talk about some of that here today. Starting with the very first tongue twister I ever knew was rubber baby buggy bumpers. I was 4, I thought it was hysterical. I didn't know what rubber was, I didn't know what baby buggies were, and I certainly didn't know what bumpers were, but I loved the sound of it. And my older brother could say that to me again and again, and I would laugh and laugh and laugh. So you don't need to even know what the words mean sometimes, you just have to listen to the sounds of it, because the content isn't important, it's just meant to be fun. So we can be confused by them. Sometimes they're harder for some people than other people, but you just have to stretch your face out sometimes. You got to kind of throw your tongue around outside of your mouth and work to make those sounds just repeatable and fun. We have in our language, in English, a lot more of these because we have a weird, funny language that has words that are spelled the same but pronounced differently, or spelled differently but pronounced the same. These are all homophones and homographs. You may have learned about these at some young age, but that's the fun part of it, is to make ourselves confused. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? What is chucking wood, anyhow, besides throwing it, perhaps? Yeah. But W-O-O-D and W-O-U-L-D is just a fun little thing to keep putting into sentences. And how many times can we stack these homonyms and homophones and homographs on top of each other to make one another amused? Because that's what it's all about, is standing up in front of people and trying to make ourselves laugh and be amused. We do this in theater to warm up before a show. We say things like red leather, yellow leather, to get all the muscles in our faces moving. And the more you try to say red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather, it becomes harder and harder, but your mouth gets warmer and warmer and ready to go. Most famously, in the movie Singing in the Rain, we see a whole section on elocution, and they use the different parts of the mouth to make these words and phrases that aren't super logical, but they're fun. Moses supposes his toes are roses, but Moses supposes erroneously. And that gets your whole mouth going, and it's just a bit of fun for us. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Repeated P sounds. Pick, 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 right? We like those kinds of things. We like those songs that sound that way, too. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, a peck of pickled peppers, That's how a tongue twister works. I did not do well on that, but I'll do well on others. But the idea that there are contests sometimes about who can make the best and sometimes most logical tongue twisters happen in the world. It's not a huge event, but it's fun and funny for a lot of people. Something you can do at home is to just go and find a book full of tongue twisters, which you may have. Go to the internet and find a list of tongue twisters, and just as you're sitting inside, as we work to kind of stay more at home and be around the people that we love and care and trust, and we just need to find other things to do. And we are turning back the pages on those simpler things that we can do as families together. And tongue twisters can be fun. One of the more fun tongue twisters is one that I learned on my travels in Ireland. It's got nothing to do with Ireland, but that's just where I remember learning it. And it's sitting in a circle, and you've probably done something like this before, where you take a phrase or idea and you say initially the first one, and then the second person adds one to it, and the third one adds another one to it. For example, this one is fun for you at home, hopefully with an older grandparent or your mom or your dad or something like that. And the first person starts in the circle, and will continue to the left or the right, or however you like to go. But you say, one smart fella, he felt smart. And the person then next would say, 2 smart fellas, they felt smart. And you try to do it a little faster every time. 1 smart fella, he felt smart. 2 smart fellas, they felt smart. 3 smart fellas, they felt smart. Now, the trick is, when you really start getting going and getting it quickly, hopefully someone like your mom or your grandmother will get to 6 fart smellers, they felt smart. Oh, fart smellers? Grandma. No, that's bad. You shouldn't say that in public. So, I encourage you to try to have fun with some of these things and try to challenge your friends and your family. Go into the bathroom and rehearse in front of the mirror, and you may need to warm up a little bit. I have a lot of people in my family who are unable to tell jokes. And so when one of my kids would come to me and say, hey, I've got a joke for you, I would tell him to go and rehearse it in front of the mirror a couple of times first, because he's just sometimes not good at telling a joke, because it always comes about 3/4 of the way through, and he says, oh, did I tell you that the guy was a truck driver? Okay. Anyhow, go and practice your tongue twisters. Get a book, get a website with loaded up with tongue twisters for yourself. I like looking at books. You never know what you'll find in a book. I have a trivia book here that I love a lot, and it's got a few fun little tongue twisters that I had never heard of before I saw this one. And so sometimes in doing a tongue twister, it does make it easier if you understand the words you're going to say. 11 benevolent elephants. That's more than 10 really nice pachyderms. 11 benevolent elephants. I'll just say that for fun around town. 3 short sword sheaths. Sh's are tough. Sh's, that little sound we make. It's hard to repeat stacked on top of each other. I wish to wash my Irish wristwatch. I wish to wash my Irish wristwatch. Hard to say. But keep trying. They can be a lot of fun. And it also teaches you a little about language, how we construct our English language with assonants and consonants, the sounds of alliteration, and it will help you in the grand scheme of things to understand language better and to just have a little more fun with what we say and do at home. I'm James Duffy from Beaufort Theater Company. Please look us up this summer if we have the ability to do our theatrics summer camp for kids. We'll be here, and hopefully we'll have a lot more exciting stuff to come back to this stage once this is all over. Thanks very much.